Aloha!
And kamusta? We are the Tories Ohana.
Today we're gonna go over 10 underrated things that you should pack on your next trip to Hawaii.
So let's not waste any time and let's get into number one, which is tubbies. So tubbies, or basically like water shoes, are very helpful because, you know, if you go like hiking to like some waterfalls or even at the beach, sometimes like the rock or the reef could be kind of like sharp. So if your feet aren't used to it, tubbies are very, very helpful. Plus sometimes the sand gets very hot, so it's really helpful to have like some sort of water shoes. And I know some people think like, oh, I look silly and this and that, but we're going for comfort here, okay? And also tubbies or water shoes can be a lot more expensive in Hawaii. So the reason why we say grab them here while you can is because we actually got these for a deal at Five Below for literally only $5. So like I said, these are a great steal over here in the mainland, but if you're in Hawaii, you might be spending more if you forget them.
Number 2, believe it or not, a windbreaker or a small umbrella. So Hawaii is very random and it can start raining even while the sun is out. You can be at the beach 1 minute and it's perfectly fine, next second it's raining. It's just how it is. So if you plan on going out, at least have your windbreaker with you, or at least have your small umbrella with you, because you don't ever know when it's gonna rain. And where I'm from, Kaneohe, it rains sporadically.
And also if you go towards the winter months later in the day, it could actually get a little chilly. So we do sometimes bring a jacket or sometimes like a windbreaker, like you said, for when we go during like the colder months.
And keep in mind that summer months are hurricane season in Hawaii.
Yeah, which means it's raining. And number 3 is a reusable water bottle.
That one is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I hope you have your own hydro flask. Save the aino. No more plastic bottles, no need that. You just bring your flask with you and then you're good to go. The water in Hawaii is actually very safe to drink, especially the faucet water. I wouldn't recommend doing it at your hotel though, so don't do that. But if you're like in an Airbnb in a house or whatever, feel free to use the faucet water. It's totally safe.
But a lot of hotels also have water refill stations, so it's very helpful. Plus, the pros to bringing a reusable water bottle is that water bottles and just drinks in general are really expensive when you buy them in Hawaii. So especially if you're staying in town side, aka like Waikiki side, which most of the people are, water bottles and just any type of beverages are gonna cost you a lot. Yeah, so just save your guys the money and bring yourself a reusable water bottle. Number 4 is going to be a portable charger. So we got this one on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put the link up for you guys. But this is very helpful because this one is also solar powered, so we can just kind of like leave it next to a window and let it charge, or of course charge it overnight. This is really helpful for like hikers and people that like to like adventure and stuff, because not all the time obviously will you have access to like a charger, especially like when you're going out. So if you're like us, you're usually out like all day and you don't really get to charge your phone, so make sure that you get yourselves one of these. They're very inexpensive on Amazon and they are very reliable.
Number 5, tote bags. If you guys have any reusable bags, definitely bring that to Hawaii because you do get charged per little plastic bag that the store gives you. I don't know if it's like 10 cents or 20 cents right now, I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that you do get charged per plastic bag. So definitely malama aina, which means to take care of the land and bring your own tote bags.
And also, for a fun little tip too, if you don't want to bring your own tote bags, definitely stop by like Foodland or the ABC store to grab yourself the collectible tote bags. I personally like grabbing them because they have all kind of bags that they rotate every season, so they are collectible bags. So if you like doing something fun like that, you guys can always grab the tote bags from there. But just make sure, like I said, just bring your own tote bags, or make sure you guys use tote bags so you're not paying for plastic bags all the time.
Number 6 is waterproof bags for your phone. Obviously, if you're gonna go to the beach or anything like that, you might want to have your phone on you. You might want to take pictures inside the water, because some of these bags can actually, you can still use your phone while it's in the bag itself. So definitely recommend bringing a waterproof bag for your phone. And like I said, the rain is kind of sporadic, so if you don't want to have your phone in your pocket while you get rained on when you don't have your umbrella, definitely want to have a waterproof bag on you.
And this is the one that we actually use. It's very small and compact. However, here's also an extra tip for you guys. It is very smart to travel light in Hawaii, especially if you guys are going, not just going hiking, but just going through your daily activities. Mainly because unfortunately they have a high break-in rate for cars. If you leave your cars in kind of open areas for a long amount of time, unfortunately they are prone to being broken into. So locals always suggest that you don't leave your stuff in the car, but instead bring it with you. So even if that means like bringing along a fanny pack, or again, small little waterproof bags like this where you can just keep the essentials that you need to keep with you.
And don't feel silly having a fanny pack on you. Just know that it's a function over form.
I love me a fanny pack.
A lot of locals do. A lot of locals do.
Number 7 is aloe vera or some sort of sunburn cream.
Yeah, I recommend bringing that to Hawaii, mainly because once you get off the plane and you get into your hotel, you can put the bottle straight into the fridge. That way it gives it a little bit of extra help when you're rubbing it on and you're applying it to your skin. It does feel much, much better as opposed to going to the ABC store, getting it for 20 bucks or whatever, taking it back, rubbing it on while it's still lukewarm. Doesn't feel that great as opposed to rubbing it on while it's cold.
And as he had mentioned, and like we mentioned before, a lot of stuff are more expensive in Hawaii unless you obviously leave town and kind of go into a more local area to grab what you need. But for the most part, it is going to be less expensive grabbing it from the mainland and then bringing it to Hawaii.
Yeah, all of these prices that we're saying may sound outlandish, even to some locals there, but it's true if you're going to Waikiki. If you're shopping in Waikiki, everything is about double to triple the amount that you're going to be spending anywhere else on the island. Now obviously if you wanted to get sunburn cream, you can take a 15-minute drive to my hometown in Kaneohe. You might be able to find something that's way more affordable.
But notice how one thing that we didn't say to bring is sunscreen, mainly because in Hawaii you should be using reef safe sunscreen, which they do sell at all of the stores. It's just safer to get it in Hawaii so that way you aren't damaging the reef, because you don't know if the sunscreen that you got here in the mainland is going to be reef safe. So just go ahead and spend the extra little bit to get some sunscreen in Hawaii, but you can also stop by Costco because Costco does have reef safe sunscreen there as well.
Alright, so this one is super underrated. Number 8, SPF lip balm.
So if you're like me and you sunburn really easily, or you're just very sensitive to the sun, if you didn't realize, Hawaii is kind of warm and it's kind of tropical, not even kind of, but very tropical. And so that means the sun is out a lot, most of the time. And so the UV out there is a lot stronger than other places that you would be. So it's always helpful to use SPF lip balm on your lips, because if you're covering your body with sunscreen, typically obviously you don't put it on your lips, so we don't think that that's like a spot to get sunburnt, but it is, at least for me, one of the most prone places that I usually get sunburnt. So just make sure that you guys bring yourself some SPF lip balm. It's really gross to put sunscreen on your lips, like you don't want that taste in your mouth, so just get some SPF lip balm to help you out.
Number 9, walkie-talkies. So we got this guy from Amazon. We're gonna put the link in the description. Very inexpensive and goes back to my hiking point. You don't know where you're gonna have service or when you're not gonna have service. If you are on an island, yes, Oahu is very developed, but still it doesn't mean that they don't have dead zones, because there are some times where you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you don't have a phone. Walkie-talkie will help. Yeah, it looks silly, but function over form.
And these walkie-talkies that we got are a lot smaller and compact. However, I know that these walkie-talkies personally have a smaller radius, so this might be better for maybe even like children when you guys are shopping, because I know that not a lot of people even answer their phone sometimes too, but it's always a good way, especially to keep children occupied, to kind of keep them, make sure that they're staying engaged and staying alert. So if you guys want to grab a higher quality walkie-talkie that you know is going to have a longer range, of course just do your research, but walkie-talkies, especially in Hawaii, are actually very helpful.
Number 10, a lot of people don't even think about this, but cash. Bring cash. A lot of local businesses in Hawaii don't accept card, they don't accept debit card, they only accept cash. So definitely package some cash, and also cash is king. So simple as that.
And also, if you use cash, just like a lot of places, you could get better discounts, especially if you're going to like more local places. They usually have like an extra little charge on top of like the credit card purchases. So like he had said, cash is very, very helpful. And a lot of places are only cash, so they only accept cash. So just make sure that, like you said, you guys bring cash, especially if you go swap meet. Cash is going to be very, very helpful.
The reason why we say bring cash is because of the fact that you will be getting charged at every ATM you go to unless you share branch, which Hawaii doesn't really have a lot of the big name banks up here in the mainland. Shout out to Pro Hawaii Federal Credit Union. I still bank with y'all. I love y'all. Save yourself some money when you go to withdraw and bring cash with you.
So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a subscribe, also like and comment down below if there's anything that we missed or if you guys have any questions.
Mahalo so much for watching. Watch this video next if you're planning on traveling to Hawaii.
Aloha!